winner of American Idol is Jamal Roberts.
Part of the competition, I was like, I think I can chill now a little bit, but she was like, I want to see more, and it was just consistency, and I understood that completely.
He stood on America's biggest stage, the crowd on their feet, lights flashing, confetti raining down. But beneath all the noise, something didn't feel right. Jamal Roberts had just been named the newest American Idol champion. Yet online, fans were already buzzing about something deeper than his win. It wasn't just about the songs he performed or the journey he'd been on. It was about one judge who seemed noticeably colder than the others, Carrie Underwood. From the very first episode, people picked up on the tension, the looks, the silence, the way her compliments sounded hollow, while the rest of the panel cheered him on with genuine excitement. And now, weeks after the finale, Jamal finally chose to speak up. Jamal wasn't the typical Idol contestant. At 27, he was a former gym teacher with no musical family background or ties to a star-making city. He walked onto that stage with shaky vocals and sweaty palms, but his heart was full of hope. Right from the start, his voice grabbed attention not just for its power, but for the raw emotion behind it.
I think this is the first time that I had peace, like, before I sang, because I usually be like, oh Lord, I gotta do this song. But this time I was like, you know what? Let's just get up there and sing. And I wasn't stressed, I didn't miss no lyrics, I didn't do nothing. It was just a peace that came over me, and I'm thankful for that.
The judges smiled, the audience applauded, and the internet went wild. But whenever Carrie Underwood spoke, there was always a strange distance. During his audition, she told him to loosen up and add some swagger. While the other judges called him refreshing, she seemed indifferent. She didn't beam the way she did for the country singers. Her applause wasn't as enthusiastic. People noticed. It was subtle, but undeniable. One fan tweeted, "Why does Carrie look like she's being held hostage when Jamal performs?" Another wrote, "She's clearly rooting for the country girl. Mark my words." As the season progressed, the speculation only grew. Carrie, a country icon and former Idol winner herself, seemed to favor contestants who mirrored her sound, like John Foster and Brianna Nix, both steeped in country roots. But Jamal? He was different. Soulful, bold, a genre blender. Not country, not Carrie's usual preference. Still, Jamal stayed focused. He kept grinding. Week after week, he delivered show-stopping performances that had the audience leaping to their feet. He poured his heart into every lyric. Even when the cameras caught Carrie's unreadable expression, viewers dissected it in comments, Reddit threads, and reaction videos. Her energy didn't match the magic of the moment, and fans weren't having it. But Jamal stayed silent. Not a word during the show. He kept it professional, until the night of the BET 45th anniversary dinner. That evening, dressed in a sharp, dark suit, he walked in with quiet confidence. Jamal stepped onto the red carpet. He had just won Idol, but the chatter wasn't only about his victory, it was about the quiet tension between him and Carrie. That's when journalist Nate Vincent asked him the question everyone had been waiting for. "There's a strong narrative online," Vincent said, "that Carrie wasn't as supportive of you as she was with others. What do you say to that?" Jamal paused, gave a slight smile, then delivered an answer no one expected. "Carrie's a country singer, and she likes country music," he said plainly. "I mean, I don't think she vibes with every genre, honestly. She had her favorites. She had who she really connected with, and she stuck to that." The silence after Jamal's words felt louder than the red carpet chaos around him. He didn't raise his voice, didn't throw shade, but the message hit hard, and fans? They loved it. Clips of the interview blew up within hours. People kept replaying his lines. She had her picks, but the better person won. That last part wasn't just a reply, it was a declaration. A mic drop moment wrapped in class and humility. Jamal didn't need to name names. Everyone knew exactly who he meant. Carrie Underwood. But as the internet exploded, others started analyzing Carrie's behavior even closer. Fans revisited old episodes, dissecting her body language, her expressions, her pauses. Performance after performance, Carrie gave Jamal only the bare minimum: a polite nod, a tight smile, a few short phrases like, "You're improving." Compare that to how she acted with the country acts. She'd light up, clapping, laughing, leaning in, showering them with praise like, "That felt like home." The contrast wasn't just obvious, it was undeniable. Some viewers called it bias. Others said it was just genre loyalty. But either way, the discussion moved beyond simple favoritism into something deeper. Jamal represented an artist who didn't fit Carrie's world. His voice had grit, gospel roots, a soulful edge, nothing like the polished Nashville sound Carrie grew up with. While judges like Lionel and Katie celebrated Jamal's uniqueness, Carrie seemed stuck in tradition. She stayed in her lane and, Jamal? He was never part of that. What made it even more awkward was how Carrie treated Brianna Nix, the young blonde country singer from Georgia. Brianna could flub a note or blank on lyrics, and Carrie would still grin and say, "You're the future of country music." But when Jamal delivered a near-flawless Marvin Gaye cover, all she said was, "It's not really my thing, but you did okay." That single clip alone poured gasoline on the fire. Fans online began creating side-by-side comparisons, even compiling montages of Carrie's reactions to country singers versus how she responded to Jamal. Still, throughout the entire competition, Jamal never directly addressed any of it. He remained laser-focused on the music, kept his head down, and smiled through every moment. That's exactly what made his BT comments land with such impact. They weren't emotional, just honest. A quiet truth from someone who'd clearly been observing everything unfold in silence. And now that he held the trophy, he didn't need to filter himself anymore. Just when people assumed Carrie might ignore the controversy and stay quiet, she made an unexpected move. An Instagram post surfaced, a smiling photo of Jamal holding his Idol trophy, with Carrie's caption beneath it. "Congratulations to the newest American Idol winner. So proud of official Jamal Roberts and everything he's achieved this season. Can't wait to see what heights he reaches next. He's destined for incredible things." It sounded sweet, polished, supportive. But to fans who'd followed the season closely, it also felt calculated. Was this genuine admiration or carefully crafted damage control? The post ignited a fresh wave of debate. On the surface, it appeared to be a gracious gesture from a judge to her champion, yet many viewers weren't convinced. Comment sections erupted with divided opinions. Some praised her for finally showing public support, while others dismissed it as PR spin. "Too little, too late, Carrie," one user wrote. "We saw your true colors all season." Another commented, "She only posted this because she's getting roasted online." The internet refused to move on, and for the first time, Carrie Underwood, the Golden Idol alum-turned-judge, found herself facing real backlash. Hard questions started circulating. Why hadn't she demonstrated this enthusiasm during the actual competition? Why wait until after Jamal's victory to post something positive? The disconnect between her chilly critiques on air and this suddenly warm social media tribute struck many as questionable. Even the finale's details got scrutinized. When Ryan Seacrest paused dramatically before announcing the winner, Carrie appeared visibly tense, almost uncomfortably so. She didn't immediately applaud when Jamal's name was called. Instead, her expression went blank. That split-second hesitation became a hot topic for days. In a later interview with USA Today,
It'll settle in probably later on tonight or in the morning or something, but I'm just like, I'm in awe. This has been a dream. God is good, and I'm so thankful. I'm grateful for every opportunity. I'm thankful for American Idol. Everybody that's played a big part in this moment, I love you, and I'm just grateful.
Shortly after the finale aired, Carrie offered some perspective on her mindset during that tense moment. My heart was racing, she admitted. When Ryan paused while looking at that card, it brought back so many memories. On the surface, it seemed like she was reminiscing about her own idol victory, but even this explanation didn't quite satisfy everyone. Many fans felt she was making the moment about herself rather than fully celebrating Jamal's achievement. Once again, what should have been pure celebration turned into speculation. As more clips surfaced and discussions intensified, one thing became undeniable. This had stopped being just about musical preferences. It had become about perception, about the unspoken responsibilities that come with being a judge, especially one with Carrie's background. As a former winner herself, she was expected to be a mentor, a champion for all artists regardless of genre. Yet her behavior throughout the season seemed to tell a different story, leading many to question whether she truly belonged in that judge's chair at all.
26 million people voted. Took the time out of their schedule to make sure I got this right here. That's an amazing journey. So many people believe in me, and that just gives me that urge to just keep moving and keep pushing.
Meanwhile, Jamal simply moved forward. He never publicly acknowledged Carrie's post. No thank you, no repost, no comment. His silence became its own statement. Was this subtle shade, a deliberate choice, or had he simply moved past the drama? Whatever the reason, his quiet response spoke volumes. Then came the revelation that changed the entire narrative. While everyone focused on Carrie's actions and Jamal's reactions, one crucial detail had been overlooked. Jamal hadn't just won American Idol. He'd defeated 2 country singers in the finale, 2 contestants widely believed to be Carrie's favorites. That victory sent a more powerful message than any social media post ever could. The significance of Jamal beating not 1, but 2 country artists in the finals carried more weight than many initially realized. John Foster and Brianna Nix had been audience darlings all season, and clearly favorites of Carrie Underwood as well. Both received consistent praise from the country star week after week. Brianna, in particular, got glowing reviews from Carrie regardless of vocal stumbles, while John consistently had Carrie lighting up, calling him authentic and ready for country radio. When Jamal's name was announced as the winner, it wasn't just his personal triumph. It represented something bigger. It signaled a shift, proving that genuine talent could overcome apparent favoritism, and that viewers had recognized the subtle biases playing out before their eyes. The response was explosive. Across social media, people hailed it as a victory. For justice, Jamal's silent rebuttal to Carrie without uttering a single word. One passionate fan captured the sentiment perfectly, tweeting, "America voted, and they voted against the country club Carrie was trying to build." The comment was biting, but it perfectly encapsulated the public mood. What made Jamal's triumph even more meaningful was the musical divide it represented. Jamal embodied versatility, effortlessly shifting between soul, R&B, gospel, and modern pop. His performances were emotionally rich, layered, and deeply personal. His competitors, meanwhile, remained comfortably in their country lane, safe, predictable, and clearly aligned with Carrie's tastes. But America didn't want safe. They chose the artist who defied expectations. Even the show's producers recognized the cultural significance of Jamal's victory. In post-finale interviews, Lionel Richie praised Jamal's courage and authenticity, while Katy Perry called him a much-needed breath of fresh air for a format that needs shaking up. But Carrie? Her involvement began and ended with that Instagram post. No backstage interviews, no press room sound bites, no live reactions. Her silence felt deliberate and impossible to ignore. Rumors began circulating behind the scenes that Carrie wasn't pleased with the results. While nothing was officially confirmed, production insiders suggested she'd been genuinely surprised by the outcome. Many believed she'd expected to hear Brianna Nix's name called that night. True or not, this perception persisted, fueled by Carrie's noticeably restrained reaction during the finale, the muted applause, the absence of visible excitement. It all reinforced the idea that she'd never truly supported Jamal. Now, however, the spotlight belonged entirely to him. Jamal had transformed from an unknown gym teacher to a household name, and he'd done it without Carrie's backing. This made his success even more remarkable. His victory wasn't just about vocal talent, it was about emotional resilience. For every dismissive glance, every lukewarm critique, every moment he felt overlooked, Jamal responded with increasingly powerful performances. This wasn't simply a win. It was a quiet triumph over every time he'd been made to feel invisible. In Chuaidi, the aftermath, Jamal's momentum only grew stronger. Interview requests poured in, along with TV appearances, fan adoration, and interest from major record labels. Finally, he was being recognized not just as an incredible vocalist, but as a living testament to perseverance. He never complained. Throughout the season, he never lashed out, never let Carrie Underwood's cold demeanor throw him off course. That quiet resilience became central to his charm. Viewers respected how he carried himself with poise, avoiding drama even when it would have been justified, and this made the situation even more complex. Because despite everything, the apparent favoritism, the detached feedback, the absence of visible encouragement, Jamal still acknowledged Carrie when given the opportunity. At a post-victory press conference, when a reporter asked about his thoughts on the judges, he calmly responded, "They each helped me grow in different ways. I wouldn't be here without all of them, Carrie included." The response was measured, mature, and deliberate. He refused to let his triumph become about resentment. He allowed the facts to speak for themselves, though the audience certainly didn't. Move on. The conversation continued to spread through memes, reaction videos, and comparative analyses. It became cemented in American Idol lore how the season's champion never received full support from one of its most prominent judges. Yet this very dynamic made the story so compelling. Jamal didn't simply win a talent competition. He overcame unspoken obstacles and did so with unwavering class.
Carrie, meanwhile, maintained her distance. She shared a few generic Idol-related posts, but conspicuously avoided any mention of Jamal. Her silence became its own message, intentional or not. Her behavior had already painted a clear picture. Perhaps she wasn't truly ready to champion an artist like Jamal. Or maybe she never expected someone outside her musical world to dominate the competition. But here's where the narrative takes its most unexpected turn. Despite the rumored tension, the perceived chilliness, all the apparent disconnect, Jamal's team recently suggested he'd be willing to work with Carrie down the line. A representative revealed in an interview, Jamal doesn't harbor negativity. If Carrie ever wanted to collaborate, he'd be open to the conversation. Music should bring people together, now it's Carrie's move. The story has completed its arc. The once underestimated winner now holds the cards. Will Carrie finally demonstrate genuine, meaningful support? Or will this unspoken tension remain as the defining subplot of Idol's most discussed season in recent memory? The future remains uncertain, but one truth stands clear. Jamal Roberts didn't just claim the American Idol title. He redefined victory itself and did it with silence that resonated louder than any standing ovation.